To enhance your English lesson, and then we are on nouns. And my name is Sir Andy. We are continuing from where we left off on nouns and then number. Our previous lesson, we got to know the definition of a noun, how nouns are formed, and then some nouns which admit the suffix s to change from their singular forms to their plural forms. And today we are going on to nouns which end with y, and these y these words ending with y are then changed by where the y are taken, and then we have this suffix added to these words to change them from their singular states to their plural forms, right? Words which end with y, where the y is taken and then the suffix ies is added to the word to change it from its singular form to its plural form. So anytime you have nouns ending in y which follow a consonant, and that is what we should also take notice of. If the y is coming after a consonant, if it is coming after a vowel, you are not supposed to take away the y. But if the y is coming after a consonant sound, then you must take away the y. So we have words like lady, baby, country, fly. This sound, the d, is a consonant sound. Bo is a consonant sound. R is a consonant sound. O is also a consonant sound. And this y, or these letters, the y coming after them, are coming after consonant sounds. Therefore, we have the right to take away these y's and then add the ies to them to change them from their singular states to their plural forms. So we have lady, for instance, becomes ladies, where we take away the y and then we add the ies because the y is coming after a consonant sound, which is the d, and therefore the y is taken and then the ies, being a suffix, is added to it to become what? Ladies. So lady then becomes ladies. And then we have baby, also becomes what? Babies. We have country. Country also becomes countries. Countries. We have fly, also becomes flies. Flies. So these are a few words which end with y, where the y is coming after a consonant, and therefore the y is taken away and then the ies is added to these words to change them from their singular forms to their plural forms, right? So let's take a look at an exception to this particular rule as we are studying it. This is an exception to the rule we just learned, that if a y is coming after a consonant, that y is taken away and then ies is added to that very word to change it from a singular state to a plural form. But if that y is coming after a vowel sound, we don't take away the y, but we only add the suffix s to it to change it from the singular state to the plural form. So as we have these words here, monkey, for instance, the y is coming after a vowel sound because e is a vowel sound. This is also a vowel sound, vowel sound, this is also a vowel sound. So these are vowel sounds where the y is coming after them. And therefore, to change them from their singular state to the plural form, you don't take away the y, but you rather add s to them to change them from the singular forms to the plural forms. So monkey, for instance, becomes monkeys. Monkeys. Whereas donkey becomes donkeys. Key becomes keys. And then ray becomes rays. So these are some of the words which admit s, where the y is not taken, and it's an exception to the rule, because sometimes when you teach this, people then become a bit confused. They may think that any word which ends with y must have IES replacing the Y. But it isn't so. If the Y is coming after a vowel sound, the Y is maintained and you only add S to it. But if it is coming after a consonant sound, then you must take away the Y and then replace it with IES. So that is the exception to this particular rule we just learned. And we are going on to know some of the nouns and the numbers. So let's go on. Welcome to Enhanced English Lesson with Sir Andy. And we are continuing our lesson on the nouns. And as we are on nouns and the number, this is a continuation of what we've learned previously. So if you've missed that lesson, you can kindly go and then take a look at the video we just shared and then follow the lesson to where we are now, so that your language will be enriched, because language is your key, you know, to wherever you may find yourself, because you may be able to express yourself so well. So we are now coming on to nouns ending in O, double S, SH, CH, or X. You know how they take their plural forms. So if we have nouns ending with O, SS, SH, CH, or X, how are their plurals formed? And then this is what? Singular and then plural. So we have mango, mango ending with O. We have kiss ending with SS, brush ending with SH, watch ending with CH, box ending with X. Right? So all these words ending with these, you know, sounds we've just mentioned take their plural forms by adding ES to them. By adding ES to them, sorry. You add ES to these words so that they can then move from singular forms to their plural forms. So mango, for instance, if you add ES to it, it becomes mangoes. Mangoes. And then we have kiss. If you add ES to it, it becomes kisses. Kisses. Brush becomes brushes. Watch becomes watches. Box becomes boxes. So these are how, you know, words ending with these sounds take their plural forms. You add ES to them. So anytime you see a word and now ending with O, and then you want to change it from the singular state to the plural form, you must know that you are only going to add ES to that word to change it from the singular state to the plural form. And if you're able to do that, then you will have it right. You will have it right. So that is it. And then we are going on to know another form of nouns and the number. So this is a continuation of the nouns and number. And this is also another form of nouns and number, how these nouns could be changed from their singular forms to their plural forms. And anytime we have some of these nouns where these nouns end with F or FE, right? And all these words which end with F or FE, you know, change from singular forms to the plural forms by taking away the F or FE and then replacing them with VES. And take notice of these words I've just given you. All these words. Anytime you see any of these words in English and then want to change them from singular to the plural form, it's a matter of you taking away the F or FE and then replacing them with VES. And then when you do that, then it means that you have changed them from their singular forms to their plural forms. So we have words like half, half. We don't say half. The old sound does not come. Half, serve, calf, leave, loaf, thief, wife, life, wolf, chef, sheaf. So we are going to do away with all the F or FE, and then we shall replace them with a VES. So half becomes halves. halves, half, half, right? Halves. Serve becomes serves, themselves, themselves. And in English, you don't say their selves, themselves. So serve in the plural form becomes serves. Calf becomes calves, right? Leaf becomes leaves, leaves. Loaf, a loaf of bread, becomes loaves. Thief becomes thieves. Wife becomes wives. Life becomes lives. Wolf becomes wolves. Serf becomes serves. Sheaf becomes sheaves. So that is how these words are. But considering this, we have certain words too which end with F or FE, but you are allowed to maintain the F or FE when you want to change them from singular forms to the plural forms. And then join me as I take you through those versions of what we've just done earlier about nouns ending with F or FE, where you do away with the F or FE and then you replace them with VES to change them from their singular forms to their plural forms. And then this is an exception to that particular rule we just learned. And what we are saying about this is, this you can add S to the word and the F will still remain. Or if you want to add VES to it, then you do away with the F. And that one too is allowed. Unlike what we studied earlier, for this particular one, you can maintain the F or do away with the F, depending on what you want to go for. So as we have scarf, you can add S to it, becomes scarves. Scarves. And if you want to do away with the F, you add VES to it and becomes scarves. Scarves. And it goes the same thing for the wife. You add S, it becomes wives, as you could see here. And then if you want to do away with the F, probably you want to show off the plural sense very well. Do away with the F, and then you add VES, it becomes wives, right? Hoof also goes the same way as we've done previously, where we have hoofs or hooves, right? So where you maintain the S or you do away with the F and then you join the rest of the letters with VES to become hoofs. And looking at these words we just mentioned, chief, for instance, chief, you can't do away with the F and then add VES to it. But what we can do, if you want to change it from the singular form to the plural form, is a matter of you're adding S to it, and then it becomes chiefs. It becomes chiefs. But you cannot say chiefs by doing away with the F and then adding VES to it, right? So that is why I brought this down to really inform you about how this particular word works. So this is an exception of what we learned earlier. And as we know this, our writings become so perfect. So that is it. And then we are going on to another, form of nouns and then number. Hello, you're welcome to Enhance Your English Lesson with Sir Andy. And this is a continuation on nouns, and we are on nouns and number, and we are going to end that with this particular nouns and number, and I sometimes term it as irregular nouns and number, right? And don't also forget to subscribe to our channel and then click on the notification button to receive more notification on the various videos we bring to you. on the lessons we teach here. And then again, I'll also suggest that if you've missed the previous lessons, don't forget to go back and then watch the videos on what the lessons we've taught to aid you enhance your language. So we are on singular and then plural nouns. How nouns could change from their singular states to their plural states. And we've learned some rules already. And we are saying that nouns like man, woman, foot, tooth, ox, goose, right, could be changed from their singular states to their plural states by changing certain, letters in them, or adding certain words to them to make them change from their singular states to their plural forms. So a word like man becomes men, right? The plural form of man is men, not mans. If you say that, that is bad English. Man is men. Woman becomes women, no women, women, right? So we have woman becoming women. We have foot becoming feet. Foot is one. Feet, we are talking about the two or more than two, right? Tooth becomes teeth. So one is tooth, more than one is teeth, right? Human beings have about 32 teeth. You are brushing your teeth. And then ox. The plural form of ox is oxen. Oxen, not oxes. Oxen. And then when we come to this one to goose, becomes geese. Geese. Goose becomes geese. So these are some of the words which have their plural forms as this, right? And then you should imbibe this. You should memorize them and know how they are. So when you are writing, you know that this is the plural form of this particular word, and this is what I really want to express myself. And when you do that, people are really going to appreciate you as you write and then you also speak. And in addition to what we are just studying now, there are some words which remain as they are. Words like advice, knowledge, baggage, furniture, information, news, luggage, and then rubbish remain singular. They don't take any plural form because advice is advice, right? But we can say pieces of advice. He gave me pieces of advice, right? That is when you want to talk about series of advice, many forms of advice, right? But if you are really going to maintain advice, you don't say advices. He gave me advices. No, that is bad English. He gave me advice. It could be as many forms. But if you want to give it a count, where you want to express that to make people know that the person really informed you, then you can say that he gave me pieces of advice. Pieces of advice. That is when you qualify it, but you don't say advices. And then knowledge too is fixed, right? You have much knowledge about something. You don't say pieces of knowledge. Fine, you can say that. Pieces of knowledge, little knowledge, right? When you want to qualify it. So when you want to be so straightforward, you say knowledge. You don't say knowledges. Baggage too. Bag and baggage. Pack your bag and baggage and leave this place. And we have furniture. We don't say furnitures. That is also bad English. We don't say furnitures. Furniture remains as it is. Furniture. As we have information. Sometimes you hear people say informations just to mean that they probably heard something, in a numerous form. No, information is information. It doesn't matter the number of times you might have heard it. It is information. I have so much information about this, right? Not many informations, as some people really want to go by it. Information is information. News is news, right? It remains singular as it is. Luggage is also like that. And then rubbish is that. We don't say rubbishes. Rubbish is rubbish. And they remain singular as they are. They don't change from any, from their singular state to any plural form. They don't admit any plural formation. And then when you have these two, these words also remain plural. Clothes, trousers, scissors, premises, and so on and so forth. These words remain plural as they are. You don't change them. You don't change them. Clothes, trousers, scissors, premises. People say trouser. It's trousers. I have black trousers, not black trouser, just to make it look singular. Black trousers. Scissors as it is, premises as it is. So these are some of the nouns and number we've studied. And in our next lesson, we are going on to nouns and gender. Nouns and gender. And that is going to be our next lesson. So don't forget to subscribe and then also click on the notification button to follow us as we take you through nouns so that you will have the language enriched. You are welcome to Enhance English Lesson with Sir Andy, and then we are on nouns. We are on nouns. We've talked about the definition of nouns. We've talked about how nouns are formed, and then we came on to nouns and the number. And now we are going to nouns and gender. Nouns and gender. When we talk about gender, we're talking about sex, right? Whether feminine or masculine, male or female. Nouns which are regarded as males, and then nouns which are also regarded as females, and then that is what we are going to also learn today. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and then also click on the notification button for more lessons as we shall bring to you, so that your language could also be enhanced, and then you can easily express yourself wherever you may find yourself. So when it's about nouns and gender, we have masculine and then feminine. Masculine, we mean male. Masculine is referring to males, whereas feminine is referring to females. So under masculine we have man, and then the feminine noun for man is woman. The feminine form of man is woman, and then boy is also girl. The feminine for boy is girl. The feminine for lord is lady. The feminine for cock is hen. The feminine for prince is princess. So these are masculines. And then let me add this. We can have a word like lad. The feminine is lass, right? We have so many words which have their feminine forms in different way, apart from their masculine forms. So as we are learning this to enrich our language, then we must also learn some of these masculine nouns and then their respective feminine nouns. It is very necessary that we know them, and then you can't do away with this, because wherever you may find yourself, you should know that this is a feminine noun for this particular masculine noun, and it goes well to help you. And we have also some nouns which could be regarded as both masculine and then feminine, right? Feminine. So we have this here, it could be regarded as masculine and feminine. I regard that as neuter gender. And then we have parent. When it's about parent, it could be male or female. We can have judge, it could be male or female. Some people try to call lady judge, We can have cook. It could be female or male. Sometimes some people are just trying to claim cook, for instance, for themselves. And then we are just trying to relate, cook to only females. But men too could also be cook, right? We have cousin. Cousin could be male or female, right? And then we have singer. We have singers. We have writers, painters, doctors. A doctor could male or female. A pastor could be male or female. And sometimes, as I indicated earlier, some people try to be sexist, where they say lady doctor. Lady doctor. A doctor is a doctor. It could be male or female. We are not supposed to qualify it and say lady doctor to create the, idea that doctors are only made for males. So if a woman comes into that profession, it is a privilege, and then we have to qualify that to mean that we are referring to a woman, not a man. And then when we are talking about doctor or referring to a man, you don't say Mr. Doctor or gentle doctor. But for women, why do some people qualify it by saying lady doctor, lady reverend, lady pastor, and then all that? I see it as not so much necessary. If a woman is a pastor, she's a pastor, right? If she's a reverend, she's a reverend. You don't say lady reverend. You don't say lady doctor. You have to maintain it as it is, because it is both, singular, feminine or masculine. And there is no way you are supposed to qualify it. And when you do that, you are being sexist, and people will not take it so, lightly. So we should do away with that. So that is about nouns and gender. We have so many of them. And then we have to go and look for some of these words which are via nouns and gender. So that is it for nouns and gender for today. Don't forget to subscribe once again to our channel for more lessons on nouns. And our next lesson, we are going on to types of nouns. Types of nouns, where we are going to learn proper nouns, common nouns, countable nouns, and non-countable nouns, abstract nouns. So join us as we go through types of nouns.